Alright guys, here we go. This is Southern Assault Game 5. It'll be Orcs and Goblins versus Warriors of Chaos in Battle Line. I'll be going up against another Cobra Kai opponent. So let's get it pumped up. This is for the championship of Table 17. Alright, now that we're pumped up, let's have a couple picks at looking at the deployment. You'll notice he only has 5 deployments and characters. So I pretty much out-deployed him fairly easily. But the big thing is that his character is going to be really powerful and I have to really worry about him. Also, I've never seen Forsaken before, so I was a little bit wondering about that, because you don't know how many attacks they're really going to get. But I was liking the fact that my Ragnarok was matched up directly across from it, so I was hoping that that could take out the Forsaken. I didn't really know what I wanted to have going against his Chosen, because they have halberds and not great weapons. But let's see what happens. We start off with the Vanguards, and I don't Vanguard my Wolf Riders on the bottom right here. He moves up his Slanish level 2 into the woods, so I can't really move up too much. And I was hoping if I get first turn, I can charge there. And, if I Vanguard, I can't charge it. So I just Vanguard my other Wolf Riders up, and he Vanguards his mounted Marauders and his level 2. Warriors turn 1, and he has no charges to start off with. He just moves up his unit some. He moves his mounted Marauders all the way up in front of my Mangler that was right there in front of them. So I'm thinking, was he just going to throw axes at him or something? Because, if he doesn't kill that Mangler, I'm pretty much going to go right through those Marauders and basically probably wipe him out. Otherwise, he puts his level 2 in the woods behind obstacles, so he's going to get heavy cover, so my checkers really can't shoot at it. So when we go into Magic, he tries to do a random movement spell on my Ragnarok, which I dispel. and then he tries to do some spell. I think it's called sliding ice or something where sliding shards or something where you have to pass. You take D6 strength 4, then you have to pass a leadership test, or you take another D6 as strength 4. And he's casting that on my Mangler, and he gets it off with irresistible force. And he of course doesn't want it to be irresistible force. So he rolls 2 dice. I think he rolls 2 dice on it. So he tries to use his war dice to stop the irresistible force. I mean, I of course challenged it again, just like last game. I don't, I want you to miscast on a low casting thing, but I'm not able to do it. You can see on the table here, I roll a 4 instead of a 5 up. So he's able to re-roll his 6, and he gets 5. I can try to dispel it or scroll it, and I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna be 9 and with a re-roll for my leadership. He'll do the first D6, but I'll be okay after that. Of course, he kills my Mangler with one D6 roll worth of hits. So my Mangler gets killed, and I pass my panic test around the Mangler there at the end of the turn. Have Orcs and Goblins turn 1, and I want to charge my Wolf Riders that didn't Vanguard at his level 2. What happens? Can you guess? They fail animosity and they're forced to charge the Forsaken. Ugh! So they're forced to charge the Forsaken. I figure I can charge my Ragnarok at his level 2, but he's obviously going to flee. And then, my Ragnarok will be sitting there for his Forsaken to charge me. So I just don't charge my Ragnarok. I move it around onto the flank. And so I didn't care if my Wolf Riders charged and he fled from that because, the Wolf Riders. But I don't want my Ragnarok sitting duck for him to countercharge. So, then I charge my little troll unit at his mounted horseman. He flees. Then I charge him again with my night goblins. He's forced to flee again. He flees to the wall, and one of his marauders dies trying to cross the wall. When we go into magic, I don't really think I get much off. I think I tried to hand a Gork my Mangler, and he stops it. No, I think I tried to hand a Gork my Ragnarok, and he stopped it. It was one of the two. When we go into shooting, most things miss, but one Chukka does hit his chosen in the flank and kills 5. 5 chosen with one Chukka shot. So things are starting out pretty good for me, even though I've had a couple of small bad things happen. And in combat, of course, this Forsaken destroy my Wolf Riders, and this panics the other unit of Wolf Riders that I was going to try to use to redirect his chosen away from my big uns. So they're forced to flee. This is Warrior's turn 2. He charges his Forsaken at my fleeing Wolf Riders, and the direction they're fleeing forces them to go through the Mangler that's in front of them, or close to them, so they wind up killing each other. So then he redirects his Forsaken at my Trolls, and he also charges his BSB at my Trolls. He rallies his mounted horsemen, and then they move off the picture to the side where there's like a little orc hut. He also takes his chosen and reforms into a long line, partly to protect him from, he said, the spear chukkas, but I think it's also because my Ragnarok's there. He's making it so my Ragnarok really has nowhere to do but charge him and hit the level 2 in front, so I have to charge the level 2 first, and then I'm only leadership 6 when I try to redirect. It'll probably be difficult for me to redirect anyway. So that's a pretty good decision to do there. We go into magic. Again, I'm not really sure what he does. I think he tries to get the Phantasmagoria, I think that's what it's called, off of me, but he's not able to. Then we go into combat, and it's actually pretty amazing that he only kills one of my Trolls with all his attacks. I think he rolls to get there's something kind of special abilities they get, and I think he gets, I want to say +1 armor, which really doesn't help, and he only rolls to get, I think, 1 extra attack, so he only has 2 attacks each. But still, he only kills 1 Troll and does 1 more wound. When I strike back, I kill a few of his guys. I only lose by 1, even after all that. So I'm easily able to stay with an 8 with a reroll. So that's pretty much ends the turn. Things are looking, I think, pretty good for me right now because his army line's pretty much broken up, while I'm still kind of centered together, which is kind of odd for Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. I charge my Biggins into the combat where his BSB and Forsaken to fight my Trolls. I charge my Ragnarok at his level 2, which of course he's going to flee. And I try to redirect, and of course I fail. I was in a position there. I really thought about whether I should even charge that level 2 or not. but I just wanted to get it out of the way, and I was really hoping I could just redirect the end. But I mean, I also thought if I fail, I'll get another round to try to shoot at those chosen, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Um, Other than that, I'm trying to move my goblins a little bit to try to protect those mounted horsemen that are coming around there to threaten my war machines. Um, I'm moving my gigantic spider you can't see around those woods and stuff to try to get to the flank of the chosen. When we go into magic, I get Erwigo and Fist of Gork off on my biggin unit. I mean, that's kind of overkill, but I want to make sure I get those out of the way. Going to shooting, I do pretty bad this time. I shoot a lot of stuff at his dragon guy. I'm trying to kill that guy. I really don't get anything accomplished. I think the only shooting I really do this turn, I kill 2 warriors. I think a scattered doom diver or something hits his warrior unit, and I kill a couple of them. So when we go into combat, because the beginners are in the combat now, I pretty much mop up the Forsaken and the BSB. His BSB dies automatically from breaking in combat, and I run down the Forsaken with my trolls, and I just reform my beginners a little bit. Going into Warriors turn 3, he does charge his chosen at my Ragnarok. He also he charges his warriors at my trolls, and I think he charges his Warshine at my trolls too. I'm not very sure. When we go into magic, I think he does now get the Phantasmagoria off of my biggin unit, which is making me really nervous. But when we go into combat, I mean, even though he does kill my trolls with his warriors, which is not good, but his chosen really fluffed their rolls against my Ragnarok. He only does 2 wounds for my Ragnarok. I come back, and between my attacks and my Thunderstomp, I get him down to about 6 chosen. So I mean, they're still steadfast by 2 models, but I mean, I could not believe my Ragnarok did so good. I mean, after 5 games, my Ragnarok finally decides to wake up and become part of the tournament. Orcs and Goblins turn 3, and I have the easy flank charge into the warriors. I'm still really worried because I have Phantasmagoria off on me. I know sooner or later that dragon's going to try to terror bomb me, and I'm kind of hoping, I want to get those warriors out of the way, but I don't know, do I want to be in combat when the dragon charges me, or do I not want to be in combat? Because if I'm in combat, I don't have to worry about taking a terror test. I go ahead and I charge in the flank. I mean, I need to get points somewhere. I decided not to charge my gigantic spotter at the chosen because I'm going to give him more attacks. But I do charge my archers at his flank of his chosen. Because I figure only one chosen can attack my archers, so it's not going to be that big a deal. When we go into magic, I can't get rid of Phantasmagoria. He got that with Irresistible Force his turn. So that's why I didn't, dispel it. But it stays until his next turn, so I need to still survive. I don't think I really get anything else off. I know my Erwigo goes away and he stops me from getting it back. We're going to shooting. A lot of my stuff couldn't shoot this turn. I do shoot what I have, and I don't do anything to his dragon. I think his level 2 has 1 wound. I think he had miscast when he miscast from Phantasmagoria. He got the strength 6 hit and he did 1 wound to his level 2, but he did nothing to his level 3. So we go into combat here. I mean, I wipe up his warriors when I'm going into flank. I don't really pursue that far. And then even more than that, my Ragnarok and my archers wipe out his chosen. I think he has 1 guy left alive or something, and I run him down with my Ragnarok. So, I mean, right now, things could not be going more my way. I just have to worry about that Phantasmagoria. Have I said Phantasmagoria enough? Because you can see in this picture exactly what happens. He tries to terror bomb my guys. I need a 9, taking out the highest dice or lowest dice or whatever. Both times I roll 10s with the 2 of the dice. He runs me down. The game is pretty much over now. If I concede, I'm only going to get 3 battle points. If I play it out, I can probably get some more. So we keep playing it out. Then he gets slide in charge or whatever it is on my Ragnarok. I fail my leadership test like 8 times. He still only does 2 wounds to me, but I know this is over now. I'm just hoping I can salvage something out of it. I was so upset. about that because I feel like I did everything right. I was making all the right moves, and then I just, to me, I just hate it when a magic spell it just wipes out your entire army. I know Malorian's watching this, and he's like, "If you had had your savage orcs, you'd be okay." And I know if I'd had my savage orcs, I would be okay. I forgot to mention when my big unit, biggest is wiped out, it panics my goblins with my level one. They fly off the table. So at this point in Orc and Goblins turn 4, I almost have nothing left. I think about, I can try to put my Ragnarok and my Gigantic spot on opposite ends of the table and, try to salvage something, but right now it's probably 15-5. I want to try to get another point maybe, or it might be 14-6 at this point, I'm not sure. But I'm not going to get any more points by hiding those guys. And I can only really lose another point or two, and I'm on table 17, so I don't do that. I move my guys up. I want his general to try to charge into me. And I still have a little bit of shooting. None of my shooting does anything this turn, but I still have a little bit of shooting. So, that's my turn. And this is Warrior's turn 5. You can even look at the picture and tell that darkness is falling. He charges his dragon in my Ragnarok, kills me before I can even strike. So, my one hope was that with 4 wounds left, I could maybe survive, kill his general, get something. I can't even do that. So now all I have left is 2 or 3 war machines. I think it's War Shrine charges my Doom Diver or whatever and kills that. I think I have right now 2 or 3 chuggers left. My Night Goblins are somewhere. My archers and my gigantic spider guy, who I think panics from this and he's fleeing right now. So this is really, really bad. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. I rally my gigantic spider. I shoot at his dragon and do nothing. I do not even know where my Night Goblins are. I don't know if they even start the table. I cannot remember. And I don't have pictures of turn 6. He charges my gigantic spider and kills it. And I think he kills one more of my chuckas. So I think all I have left at the game ends is my archers, 2 chuckas, and I think my Night Goblins might still be alive. So this is it's a pretty big loss here. I feel like everything was going my way. I feel like I was doing perfectly with my strategy, and then everything just falls apart in the second half of the game, and it kind of like it just devastated me. I didn't know what to do. I was like shell shocked. So it was looking like it was going to be a good win for the Orcs and Goblins. Turns out to be a 14-6 loss. I really felt like I was getting better as the tournament goes along. I felt like, this was the best game I played of the tournament. I felt like I was doing everything right. And I felt like as the tournament was going on, in games 3, 4, and 5 here, I was playing a lot better than I did in game 1 and 2. And I don't know what I could have really done different in this game. I couldn't stop Phantasmagoria. Anyway, I feel like it did determine the outcome of the game, so I don't necessarily think I did badly in this game, even though I got the 14-6 loss. But, it was still a fun game, and this was the guy who, if you were at Brawler Bash or heard about Brawler Bash from Malorian and me, he had the big Night Goblin unit at Brawler Bash that had all the characters in it, and we were all discussing that amongst ourselves about how he pretty much had the perfect list for Brawler Bash for Orcs and Goblins to go in there and get a lot of points. And we were all thinking about how we could emulate that at the next Brawler Bash. So I do wish that he was playing Orcs and Goblins in this tournament. His comp was really low at 18, but it was still tough with all the characters and everything. It's still a fun game. Phantasmagoria, that's all you can say. So this is the end of another battle report, and the end of my Southern Assault battle reports. If I get a chance, I want to try to make a recap. I got a bunch of pictures of different armies, maybe have an army showcase as I recap the Southern Assault, and maybe either in that video or a later video try to do a Grail Quest, which is our next big NDGT in the area, like a real preview of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and feel free to subscribe or like or make any comments you might like. I'll see you guys next time.